Today, Clever TV is coming to you from inside Pixar Animation Studios. This might just be one of the most creative places on Earth, and we're actually talking with some of the people behind the making of movies like Toy Story, Cars, and coming up very soon, Brave.
And when we are put to the test, it is the one thing we must always be.
And right now I'm with the director of Brave, an incredible movie that's coming to theaters very soon, Mark Andrews. Thank you for sitting down with us.
Absolutely, thanks for coming up.
You showed us the first 30 minutes of the movie, and it definitely left me wanting more. So sort of describe for our viewers what the story is all about.
The story is about our young heroine, Merida, who happens to be a princess in this Scottish clan. And she's grown up, and she's reached this age where she needs to keep the peace within all the clans, needs to marry off into one of the clans. But she doesn't want to do that because she's still discovering who she is as a person. But there's the responsibilities to the kingdom. So Brave is about her figuring out and navigating that situation. Her mom, the queen, Eleanor, is doing this because of all the things that they need to do to keep the peace and everything. And so her mom is pretty much the ones in the way. So if she could change her mom's mind, everything's good. But magic's involved and things get out of hand and comedy ensues. And at the end of the day, we learn what being brave really is about.
Yeah, and I love that this is such a unique take, or from what I've seen, I haven't seen the whole movie, such a unique take on what some people might think of as a fairy tale. How would you describe or classify the movie?
I would say that this is more of I would say it was a fantasy,
Okay.
a straight up fantasy. I mean, it does have some elements of the fairy tale in it, but more of the Grimm's kind of fairy tale because it is a little bit more darker than what we're usually used to seeing with a princess type movie.
Right, yeah.
There's no prince that's going to save her. Merida saves herself because she's that independent and confident. So she deals with her own troubles in her own way. But the message is really good because she's at this point in her life where she's transitioning from adolescence to adulthood, and it's all about learning what consequences are and taking responsibility for that, which is also what being brave is about.
I am Merida, firstborn descendant of Clan Dunbrog, and I'll be shooting for my own hand.
What are you doing?
Merida! Curse this dress! Merida, I forbid it.
Pixar film is different than the one before it,
Right.
but this one definitely is our first. It's got a few firsts going for it. You know, it's our first period film set in a long ago time period. It's our first film where we're sort of playing with these magical elements, and it's our first with a female protagonist, or really a girl at the center of the story. We've had females in Pixar films before, but this one is really being driven by Merida and her spirit and her adventure.
Yeah, girl power. I like that. Why was the choice or what was the reasoning behind that? Just the time to do it, kind of?
Well, it was a convergence, I think, of the right story at the right time with the right filmmaker. We have the Pixar process is that the films are developed right here in our Emeryville studio by our own talent, our own filmmakers. And as a filmmaker-driven studio, in this case, the filmmaker, Brenda Chapman, was developing this idea based on her own relationship with her daughter and what would this girl be like as a teenager, since they already had a sparring relationship.
Right.
And a feisty and spirited heroine was born out of that idea, and the Scottish family came around it, and it became a great action adventure. But it really was developed from that early stages through the Pixar development process. And by the time it got that go-ahead, was pitched to our creative brain trust, led by John Lasseter. It was like, yes, we really want to make this movie. So it really was the right idea at the right time. It was not so much like, we need to do this. It was like, it was a great story.
Perfect.
Careful what you wish for, my mother would say.
What's the worst that could happen? No more fighting! Show a little decorum! Feast your eyes!
If you had the chance to change your fate, would you?